And welcome back to Career Build Series, episode 143. And so we're right where we left off last time. We have Triton parked at the Sawyer North dock. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab Katydid, fly Katydid off, and just park it on the dock for now. And then I'll recall Triton. I did some work off screen, foldable mast, did some more davit work so that we can hook the rescue ship, which somebody gave me a good idea for a name to call it Remora, so that's what that name's going to be. And I think what we'll do is once I spawn it back in, we'll go ahead and we'll load up some containers for Komodo and Spycakes, and then we'll get Triton moving in that direction, and we'll look for a mission that we can go do with some of the other craft. Alright, so I think that's the plan. So let's start here with going ahead and grabbing Katie. So Harbor Gen is on, giving us power. Stuff I did off screen on Triton was pretty much just davit work. I did a little bit extra, so if you remember last time, the little rescue boat kept flipping up because the waves were hitting the front, so the new davit system should disallow that. And then I also put in a mast panel, so we now have a panel for the mast that allows me to fold the mast, so that's important. Take off ground idle. Alright, so just going to put Katie up on the dock there so I can recall this. And waiting for a green light for go. And there's green for go. Yep, let's not hit the prop as I just did. Okay, so I have to be careful that I did not have the gyro on either, which would helped. But I damaged my prop, so that's fine. I will put a torch somewhere on Katie and can use that. So I'm just going to get out of the way here, and then I'll just repair that with a repair torch. So that's a pretty easy fix here. I want door open. Alright, now let's go ahead and let's get Triton recalled. I also did some work on the lifeboat, so that is a more viable craft, so I might I think I'll delete that out and then try to put the new lifeboat on there as well. Okay, so Triton's called in. Let's call in the new Triton. Triton davit work right here. I've also been working on a different boat for that spot. Trying to see which I like better. It's more craft the merrier. I can do quite a bit of work, so I don't mind having multiples, and then I kind of choose what I want to use. But did a bunch of work at the lifeboat. So the lifeboat now has that system I was talking about where in the event we were to, if water was to get inside, it automatically closed the door and pumps it out. So that makes this viable now. I also increased the engine size so that we can get some more speed out of it. So kind of the deficits that the lifeboat had, it doesn't really have those anymore. All right, so lifeboat is deleted. That's good. Okay, so let's load in a couple craft here. And we want to load in the new lifeboat. I'll put that right in place. Just line that up with the hard point. It's very nice with the hard points that you can now start connected. That was something that the old connectors that was very nice with the new hard point system. It just made that much better. All right, and let's paste that. And do rope logic to there, and that should be all set. Next, we want the new Remora. The Remora I need to actually attach because it is one block too tall if I don't attach it. So I can't just, I would love to be able to put it in there, but I cannot. So let me just make sure that I can't. I don't think I can. I think it's one block too tall. Yeah, it looks like it's more than one block too tall, so that's fine. What I will do is let's check the water line here. Let's move Triton down right on the water line. And then which way is this facing? facing the opposite direction that it was, which isn't a big deal. The crane can go either way, so that's fine. And then that's good there. Okay, and then I want to grab the Remora, and let's see. Which one's the up arrow? That's the up arrow there. Alright, so let's actually just move the whole thing out again. Now it's crushed into the dock, so that is better. Okay, let's get this as close as I can. And that has a fluid port on the side, that's why it gets like that. Okay, that on the water line there, that is a little low of the water line here. And let's put this in. Alright, so I think that's it. So let's do that. Alright. Alright, so this is all, everything's hooking up there. Let's go ahead and get the... Alright, so let's put that down. Yeah, I'll get this hooked up. So now I have two connectors and did a little bit of logic just to get those working. Where I forgot to spawn a repair torch, but not a big deal. I have to spawn something to get this to move the containers anyways, so I'm going to do that. Alright, so this is grabbed, as you can see. So now it has two connectors that allows it to, it won't flop up when the waves hit it now. So it can still pivot port starboard, but it does not flop bow stern. So need to put a name badge on Remora at some point, but I'll do that probably off screen. And so everything still needs tweaking and some work, but that can be done later. Alright, that should attach. There we go. Alright, so let's go downstairs. Did I have... Nope. Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't have infinite electricity on. Had it on in my test world. I did not want it on now. Alright, so let's go down. Let's get this started up. And once we're all started up, I'm going to push us up against the dock. I don't have ropes. Again, you know, playing career, this is how we learn what we need. So I need to add some ropes. So we'll do starboard battery bank, seeing we did the port battery bank last trip. And that's still going to turn on. I still have yet to actually, I artificially decreased the batteries down to 60% just so that for harbor gen testing, and I forgot to put it back up. So it will turn that on to recharge the batteries. Doesn't use all that much fuel. We have 152,000 liters, I think, of fuel. So. Okay, what's that doing? I made some changes. I think I just did it to the... I made some changes. I think I just did it to the port side. That's why we have a starter going. So the starboard harbor generator, I don't think I updated the logic. So walk all the way back down here. So I just need to essentially copy what I did in the microcontroller over to the starboard generator. That's why I was clicking. Again, so build up a nice to-do list. You know, this is what career is good for, is telling you what your ships need or what your builds need. And so we are learning that. Alright. And it will teach me to not do a bunch of nonsense so I don't have to keep climbing up and down. I'm just gonna third person here. I need to see where I can reach with the crane. That's perfect. Alright, so let's come in on the stern and the bow on thrusters here. And so I'm gonna decrease this stern by a little bit. Looks like the bow's lagging on that. Stern has a lot more mass, so I put more motors in the stern. The bow is a lot lighter, so it doesn't need as much motors on the thruster, but it, you know, I have to put a little bit of a correction there, so stern can come back in a little bit more. Alright, so I'm not going to bother tying off. I don't have any tie downs on this, which I need to get some. Alright, so I'll show you the new mast controls really quick. These are the new mast controls. It shows red when it's in the vertical position. That's just telling you have to be cautious of bridges. You press that, it's in transit, and then it will show green when the mast is down, i.e. green is safe to go under bridges. And so it takes some time for it to go down. Should be down already. Perhaps I need to increase the threshold on that. Nope, it just is nice and slow. Okay, that's good, and then we put the mast back up. And as you can see, it's transiting. So let's go ahead and let's go down. Let's get moving on these containers. So this is the sort of thing that is, again, the bread and butter of Triton, is going and doing missions, and then as other missions pop up, the parasite craft are able to go do it. So I really knocked 3 propellers off of it. I did. So that's important. I need to make sure the gyro's on before I start it up. Alright, so let's find some containers here. BVG, nope. Sawyer South is a nope. Spycakes, 6,000, that one's coming with us. BVG's no, so we're taking Spy and Komodo is what we're taking. And if we can get them all for 1, we'll just do that. But Spy, we haven't had any Komodos yet. Yep, so that's just those 2. This, where the hell is it? This one here and this one here. So those 2 are for Spycakes, so that's where we're headed. Alright, so let's go jump on in here. And we'll grab the shifter. And get rid of this. Okie doke. Alright, shifter, and then I'm going to grab a welding torch and just stick it on top for so that I can repair. Hopefully it doesn't interact on the way out. Alright, so the shifter is the best for actually just moving containers. This allows me to double stack with the shifter, and it's the fastest to move things around. So let's see if I can't get that orange container first here. Just click these. Just gonna make sure that I can't pick it up yet. I'm gonna turn it. So make it the most horrific noise. If you actually did this, push one of these on the ground, it would just make the worst squealing noise. Ooh, too much. Alright, so we'll go grab this. Alright, and that white one over there is the Hope, is the one we're going for, so. A little bit tight on space here. Let me see if I can't just get it in there. I'll push it with the front. Not the most realistic thing to do, but these are awfully tight together. Okay. Oh, that was already selected. Okay. Alrighty, let's back up. Yep, I didn't want that. Crap, that's gonna be a pain. Just do this. Manually connecting the connectors would be a huge benefit, I think, just because it would keep you from having problems. Actually, I made a little short video of me IRL showing how they connect them to trailers. They're just manual turn parts. That would be kind of cool to have some manual connectors. I should put that in a feature request. And that should grab when I hook it up. So it's all hooked up now. All right, let's pull this. Plenty of space. So this has a good steering radius. Why is that? Okay, it just brakes essentially. And I do have my camera looking straight ahead there to kind of see where I'm going. This is having issues. It's weird. Has never had issues before with that locking it. It's kind of, it's not a big deal, but it's kind of moving a little bit more than usual. All right, so we've got 2 containers here. They're not worth a ton of money, but again, this is how you offset. You know, even if you don't make a profit, you're offsetting your costs by. You see, it's doing this nonsense up there. I need to see why it's doing that. It's not locking properly at the top. I bet it's because I need to go 1 more block wider. I don't know. I have to look at it. Oh, I'm hitting the workbench. I was wondering what I was doing there. I don't know. Maybe those are all right. This has had plenty of testing. I don't know why. You see, it's doing this. This seems like something they must have done in one of the updates. I was never having these problems. I'm having the same jittery, strange behavior with ropes. It's doing this weirdness. So I wonder if it's some sort of physics thing that got bugged in. Hopefully if that is what it is, they fix it. Okay, I actually don't want this too close. I have a really good long reach, and so I don't want it uber close. Alright, so let's back this up. Okay, let's put it in reverse before you tip the whole stack over, dummy. There we go. Alright. Alright, so let's go jump out real quick. Let's repair Katie, and then I will get this put away. I have a welding torch on me already, so that was a waste. But whatever, we'll put it back in the workshop. Okay, we're good. All right, let's get out of here. Put this away, and then load up the containers, and then Katie goes back on top, and then we get underway. So I almost thinking of switching out for the cormorant, but it is spelled cormorant, C-O-R. But being from the Boston area, we don't know what an R is, so we often say cormorant. So if I say cormorant, it would be a regional dialect type of thing, because we don't say our R's. All right, so oh come on, don't hit the yes. This is so heavily counterweighted that sometimes you'll do a little wheelie. It needs a counterweight to be able to hold 2 containers and go up and down hills and not have any issues. Alright. Put this away, load those up, and we will go. Alright, so that is put away. Alright, good. So now we're ready to load. So, do a little showcase on the crane. I do not have this roped off. I shouldn't need it roped off. I was almost thinking to shut the damage off and powering into the dock with the thrusters, but I don't think I'm going to do that unless I really need to. You know, if you keep pushing up against something, you'll eventually cause damage, and so try to not do that. Okay, so I think I will actually do that. I'm not going to cause any damage anyways. that is realistic damage, be nonsense damage. The issue is, as you can see, the water is pushing us off. I just forgot ropes, so instead of, you know, despawning, respawning, putting all the vehicles on, I'm just going to use the thrusters and push us up against, and I will just, you know, use gentle pressure and just kind of hold us against with the thrusters. Okay, why is the bow thruster just not pushing for crap here? The waves should be helping us, and it seems like they're almost hindering us. Yeah, I don't have any ropes. Yeah, that's just an oversight. I need to fix it and put some ropes in there. It's like the water won't let me get close. It's weird. Let me leave that on, and then let me just grab a bunch of ropes here. Grab the handle, come on. Grab the handle, thank you. Alright, so we have ropes. This is the nice thing of having workbench around, is you can just go and grab the stuff you needs. And I can actually winch myself in as necessary. And you can hear the harbor generator is powering up. The RPS is going up, and that's because I am currently using the thrusters, so it's using up some electricity. Oh, come on, man, don't fall down on the deck. I'm gonna have to go from here and jump down. Alright, get out of the drink, please, sir. There we go, and then this one. Just no-clip again. Don't like to no-clip, but at times it's kind of... Again, I do it for RP reasons mostly. Again, you know, you'd have somebody standing in the back of the boat, you would throw them the rope. You know, it's not realistic that I would be jumping from the dock to there to put rope on, so it's kind of... You know, it's RP of me switching. Oh, come on, don't do that. This is going to be a tough one to get if I have to reach all the way up there. Yeah, this is me kind of just RP-ing the guy on board and me switching characters. Fine, let me do it. Oh, it's getting annoying. I hate this when it does this. It's just annoying. There we go. Okay. Alright, so we are tied in now. Alright, so that's all we need. I'll keep those on. The harbor gen seems like it's doing a good job. Alright, let's get this loaded up. This is just a piece of equipment for the cormorant. That's how I load the cormorant on, so that can be stowed in here. Alright, and so that gets hung up in there, and then let's get up on the crane and let's get moving here. And there we go. Trying to remember the controls. Sometimes this wants to hang up and it takes me a second to get it broken free. As you can see, it's starting to do it now. Gonna have to jiggle it free or use something to push it off the deck. Let's see what it's doing here. If they changed something else that broke my crane, I'm going to be annoyed. Okay, let me do this for right now. Okay, it's an electricity issue. Alright, so I need to fix an electricity issue, so that's fine. I'll go with infinite electricity while I operate the crane. All these things are learning things of what I need to fix on the build, so, you know, it's not a big deal to cheat those in. It's just, you know, because that's the monotony of the game, where it's, again, why I recommend you have the custom menu on is something simple like that, where it's just, you know, I forgot to connect this electricity because I haven't used it yet. Well, of course, you know, in real life you would connect the electricity already, so it's not at the end of the world. It's just be uber duper obnoxious if I had to go and, you know, respawn Triton because I forgot to do something. So I hope this crane's gonna reach. Let me try to remember my controls here. Nope. This one? There we go. Alright, so extending this out. Let's start extending it out that way. This has a nice long reach. So hopefully we can reach this. I don't have to move them again. I'm not loading two at a time. I'm not going to do that. I will, though. I'm going to kind of try to figure out where I need to be. They are too far away. All right, that's fine. I'm going to drag the. They're not far off. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go like this, and I'm going to winch in the ship. So winch it back just a hair. What are you doing now? Is this not connected now? These are the things that are quite frickin' annoying here. Okay, that's fine. Again, there's going to be a bunch of me no-clipping. This build is, you know... did I start the engines? Apparently I did. Alright, so we should be good now. I think we're actually close enough now to do it. I think we're close enough to do it now. Yeah, these are going to be a lot of me no-clipping just because build is not complete. So a lot of things I'm finding out. Okay, I need electricity, I need this, I need that. And so instead of me running around like a dope and recalling things back into the bench every 5 minutes, which is no fun, I can just, you know, put on some quote-unquote cheats till you know the build is there, and so it happens. But again, you know, this is when people get frustrated and annoyed with the game, and so instead of me getting frustrated, what I've decided to do is that I'm going to, you know, we'll use some of these custom menu quote-unquote cheats, you know, to kind of make the game a little bit more enjoyable, where something that's either, oh, I forgot to do this part, or, oh, you know, didn't hook up the electricity. Like, you know, last episode, I didn't hook up the electricity to the mast, and so therefore I wouldn't be able to go onto the bridge. Well, just turn on infinite electricity, go onto the bridge, write yourself a reminder to do it next time, and then, you know, you're good to go. I was going to say, if they change something that screwed up my crane, I'm going to be very annoyed. The crane is an integral part of the build. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I want to do this all in first person. So the container module needs some work. It needs to be a little bit longer. You see it's kind of breaking. You kind of want a little bit of play in these things just because that makes sure that you don't break anything. You know, you start getting into glitching problems where it moves the whole ship when when you have two immovable objects. You know, and so if you can make one movable, the hard points, as you can see, the hard points have some give. So the more give you can put in some of your stuff, as much as it kind of looks funky, it makes it so that you don't have to, you know, you don't destroy your build, because, you know, if you have to keep reloading in the save, that's when things get really obnoxious. And so, you know, I can, you know, that's what's really, I would say, unfun, is having to do that. Okay. Alright, so that one's locked on deck. Let's go grab this next one. And I'm kind of glad there's only 2 of them. You know, just because I'd rather, instead of, you know, spending all day here, I'd rather go, oh, come on. Do not get stuck in there. No reason that's stuck in there. Guts to be kidding me here. Hopefully I can glitch it through and not have a bunch of problems. There we go. Okay. A little bit of annoyance there. Again, this is what no clip's for. As much as no clip can be, you know, kind of cheaty and obnoxious. What I think it's the wind actually messing with the crane the most. The wind's actually up pretty heavy. You know, just being able to use your quote-unquote cheats to kind of, you know, if you have issues with your build like I'm having where I forgot to do things, it just makes it so much easier. You know, at the end of the day, the purpose is to have fun with the game, and so, you know, sometimes, you know, it's okay to cut a little bit of realism down to try to increase your entertainment, you know. And I'm just visually trying to check. Oh, did this? I think these. Yeah, it's based on grippers, and so you kind of have to manually push it back out sometimes. Alright. Alright, we'll get a shot here of me loading. I haven't taken many screenshots yet, so. Sometimes I get to the point where I don't have any screenshots for the video, and then it's kind of like, oh crap, didn't do any screenshots. And you might have noticed some of the last videos they had, the screenshots were all from one video. That was one of the videos I did a lot of screenshots, the other ones I did none, so I'm like, oh, I kind of have to use the ones from the other video, and it's kind of false advertising. It wasn't what was in that mission, but kind of had to do it because I didn't have screenshots of what I was working on, so. Let's move to the starboard a little bit. And so a lot of this wiggle waggle is the wind. It's usually not this wiggly when I'm loading, and that's the wind. The wind is actually blowing this quite a bit, which makes sense. Alright, let's put that down. Yeah, like I was saying with hardpoints have enough give where it's good because it allows, when you snap, for example, if you're using connectors that don't have a lot of give, and you, you know, and you end up snapping at the bottom here, it could cause a problem where, watch when it connects. Because this has give, that had no problem connecting. If that didn't have give, that could cause a lot of problems. You see how much pressure was on there? If you have 2 connectors, they don't want to move very much. That can actually cause you problems. I actually want to leave that on top. Nah, that's alright. I don't need to leave it on top. See, it's doing it again. It's getting stuck onto there. At least it's letting me glitch it through. Yeah, it's fine if it, you know, it's fine if it lets me glitch it both ways through. It's just when it lets me only glitch it one way is kind of annoying because it's like, I didn't glitch it in there. You did. Alright, let's close this up. Let's actually, I don't want to hook it to the deck. I want to pull this all the way up, push this all the way down, stow my crane. And then once the crane is stowed, I'm going to, we'll load Katie on. And we will get Triton moving on autopilot there. And then I could sleep in the bed here and do a mission. Alright, good. So that's shut. Let's go down the ladder. And I kind of like it how I can jump off multiple levels. Jump off at multiple levels on this crane. That really makes it kind of cool and lets me easily get to it from different areas. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump on the Katydid. Alright, so again, we have to be careful of hitting the prop. It's going to be a recurrent theme with the did. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I cannot land in the wind here because actually I'm pretty close to being in the wind at the moment. Alright, so if you remember last time I was trying to land when the the hospital ship was in the same tile as do I have prop in there? I do. I had prop in there. I was wondering why I kept getting pulled to the front. I had some prop in there, so it was trying to push me forwards. This is better now. Now I have control over it. So what's my heading? I could do this with a heading hold in there of 6-9 in there. Let's put that in there. That's just one fewer thing that I have to worry about. Oh, that's a way off. What the heck is that? How was that so far off? Yeah, that was... Did I transpose the numbers? I don't know. Maybe I read the 6 as an 8, or the 8 as a 6, rather. Alright, so I'm just going to let the heading hold kind of hold my heading. It's not perfect, but I can just tap a little bit of yaw when I get close. But that's just one fewer thing that I have to kind of pay attention to. And so it allows me to decrease my workload. That's actually something that they do a lot with human factors in aviation, is and a lot of equipment operation is try to reduce your workload. That's the main benefit of automation is workload reduction. Because you know, you reduce fatigue, you reduce the amount of crap one person has to do. It really makes it much better. All right, so we are connected. I still have to finish fixing the helipad, but it's not bad. Let's go ahead and let's grab our lines here. And I still have the thrusters pushing, which isn't a big deal. I don't know if this is wise just throwing a rope in here on the ground, but whatever, that's where it's going. All right. And these will be changed. You know, of course, you would manually just pull in your line, but cannot do that in game. So, would be nice if we had that manual feature, kind of almost like, you know, you're kind of just roping it up on your arm. But all right, let's get going here. I'm gonna push our thrusters out. I'm gonna desync the thrust here. I'm going to go full hard right rudder. I'm going to, my bows coming out nicely, but I think I'm going to do a little bit on the starboard side. Okay. I don't know why it's taking me forever to get my, there we go. And I can stop using my thrusters now. Stern is plenty clear. I'm going to push it up with my keyboard again. And we're just doing full starboard screw there because I need to make a left turn anyways. I'm kind of keeping it tight, as you can see. See, just kind of keeping it tight, pushing with, you know, with differential thrust. Now I can start coming up on this port side as I start to zero out my rudder. And then once I get it all the way forwards, I'm going to go ahead and sink it. And here we go. Here comes the port thrust. Alright, so we are full thrust here. Let's go ahead and sync them back up. Alright, let's go ahead and get a course going in here. So we'll add a waypoint and turn on the autopilot. Add another one here. Everything is going for Spycakes, so we don't need to go to Komodo at all. And I have plenty of waypoints I can put in here, so I'm just going to keep spamming in some waypoints, keep it accurate, kind of where I want it. And I'll just go right up here, and I'll kind of leave it there, and that will let me adjust it when I actually get there, so we can zoom out and see the whole path. There's the path, and I'll just kind of go at a reasonable distance. All right, so this is on autopilot, so let's go ahead and let's see what we have for missions. I don't think we really have anything that's worth doing. That's a tow mission. That's a tow mission. This is, what is this, dude? Small boat. Extinguish fires. Rescue one casualty to the hospital. Let's do that. Go grab the did and do that. Do I need... I don't believe I'm going under any bridges. No, I'm in this area here, so no bridges. I was going to say I'll put the mast down now, but I don't need to. And then I have beds on here, so I could have slept in any of these rooms to accelerate time. Alright, so those are on, so those containers are all set to go. So again, I need to make sure my gyro is on. You see how little clearance I have between the prop and the front here, and I need to make sure that I kind of head out backwards. So this, you know, this issue has been happening a lot more recently lately. That is to do with your player character. And so, if you can get your player character close enough or put away in a seat, that will fix that. It's kind of annoying, but again, it's a bug. It's been in there. Looks like they exacerbated it or something's causing it to be worse. You know, I was having, as you can see, more issues. More recently, as you can see, probably the door will open now that I'm in my seat. Yep, see how it opens and closes fine with me in my seat. So, ground idle is off. Let's go master power. Engine start stop. We are not too bad on fuel. We're down about a quarter of a tank, so we need to keep that in mind. Gyro is on. So I kind of want to head out backwards a little bit. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we will detach coupling and go up and backwards at the same time. And the reason I turned is I left the heading in there, so that's dangerous business, so I don't want to do that in the future. Alright, so let's get going here. Let's go ahead and start putting some prop in. Let's actually turn to the waypoint too. I forgot I already put the waypoint. So, all right, let's get going. Let's go up to 350. 50. There we go. All right, and goodbye, Triton. Let's see if we can get a picture on the way out. I think it would be kind of cool having the did overlooking Triton like that. Trying to get some of these islands in the background too. There we go. That's a good one there. Alright, so that's good. I need to shut that ding-dong noise off when it takes a screenshot. Alright, this jittering is just the wind interacting with the gyro. Gyro is overcorrecting, so that's just a sensitivity issue. If you get this, you can just decrease the sensitivity on the gyro there. Actually, it's not. It was north. It was a north problem. When it's at north, it tries to decide which way to go, you can see. So I don't want to go that heading. I want to go, let's say 010. And I'm going to manually push my heading off. That will keep that from not happening. It's a north thing. As you go through north, it jitters back and forth. So sometimes trying to go directly north can be a pain. So you notice where as this number will change as we go off course, and then once that gets to, let's say 350, I will I'll head back on course. So that's just because we were facing north, it was doing that jittering business. We were definitely heading into a headwind, and so I'm 100% prop pitch. It's showing 142 knots. My ground speed's probably a lot less than that. You can see how it doesn't look like we're going all that fast. That's because we're heading the wind. That means we have to be very, very careful of our fuel. But we have to understand that on the way back... Did this mission just cancel? That mission's gone now. Okay. Locate emergency vehicle has activated its transponder. Okay, let's go ahead and do this one. That one just disappeared, which is always fun when that happens. But this should give us a tailwind. And tailwind will make us go much faster and save us some fuel. We have to be very careful of our fuel here. Once this light goes red and flashes at us, we're going to land. And so that's a good tip. We learned that the hard way, one of the missions where I was flying a bunch into a headwind. You're going to burn a ton of fuel. You know, and that's, you know, we used to have to take on extra fuel in the airlines when we would have a headwind. I'm going to manually turn us here. This should be turning us, but I'm going to manually do it. It's not behaving itself very well, so. Again, I think that's just wind. The wind is, let me see where the wind's actually at. Yeah, see the wind's at 83%, so you can expect these things when the wind is heavy. You're going to lose some of your effectiveness of your control surface. You might have to take over and kind of get it to go. Another way you can tell we have a tailwind is, remember, our normal max speed is about 135 knots. Notice we're down to about 114. Because we have a tailwind, you subtract the tailwind off of your number and you add the headwind. So if you saw when we were heading into the wind, it was showing 142 knots. As we have a tailwind now, it's showing 117 knots. Well, you know, the speed we actually go is still about, you know, 136 knots. Now the ground speed is going to be higher. The ground speed, because we have a tailwind, is actually going to be higher than 132. We're going faster than 132, and when we're facing the headwind, we're actually going pretty slow. We might have shown 142 knots, but we might only be going 80 knots, you know, so these are all things you have to be careful of because of your fuel. Okay, that's just some RPS is getting robbed. Let's go ahead and turn on the transponder. There we go. Got our beep coming in here. I'm just going to check the map again. As you can see, it's in this whole area here. So we're coming in the outside belly. That right there should be Komodo. So should be looking for this. What is that? That's moving. Let's read exactly what it is. Black and white plane. Black and white plane. This is kind of cheating, but at first I thought it was the black and white boat. It's the black and white plane, so I would say that that is a on the land. Fancy that, huh? So we're gonna have to be very careful. Again, we're burning a lot of fuel here, and so we need to be careful. And so, you know, some people might say, "Oh, put drop tanks on, do this, do this." I want my different vehicles to have different benefits. The Cormorant has a lot of fuel. I have actually increased the fuel to 368 gallons. This has 100 gallons. So that has 3.68 times the amount of fuel that this has, and it's faster. And I think it's actually more fuel efficient as well because it doesn't need to use its motor to keep itself aloft. You can hear the beeps accelerating, which shouldn't be a surprise because it's an airplane, most likely crashed to the land. So we'll start grabbing. We should see it soon. Should take off my thermal clothing, but I'll start putting some dressers and stuff inside of the staterooms. Alright, I just pressed the space bar. I'm going to manually take over here in a second. Alright, so we're really close. I don't see it yet. It's probably on the other side of this hill if I don't see it yet. Okay, we just got the bong. That was for yellow. That's caution fuel. So we can, I haven't bought the island yet, but we do have cash. I could buy that military base too. That could be advantageous to us. I'm not going to cheat and go in third person. I kind of want to look for this. Kind of checking around. What's that? There it is. Okay, just spotted it. It's over here. So I'm actually going to use the prop here to get moving. That's just going to be a lot quicker. And I think because of our fuel situation, we're not doing too bad. Actually, I'm going to land. Station keeping would kind of be cool, but I think I'm going to land. Oh, yeah, we have a fire started in the forest too, so I'm going to go ahead and land. Extinguish all fires. Yeah, I'm gonna land us here. That's actually a flare. I see it now. It's a flare. That's just our bong again. As I change my deck angle, I'm causing the fuel to slosh around, and so that's changing what it's reading for quantity. That's something that actually does happen IRL. So I'm going to try to turn into the wind here. As you can see underneath me, I don't have the fire's not underneath me, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to try to just put my tail down here. I'm going to go ahead and shut down because I don't want to risk hitting that prop on anything or burning up any extra fuel that we don't need to burn up. So that's a flare. That's fine. Let's put this one out here. Okay, that's out. Never really noticed before how the fire actually interacts with the wind. You can see the fire's blowing. That's why it's so dangerous when the wind is up for forest fires. And you get the best results if you actually aim for the little circle where the fire is emanating from. That's going to give you the quickest chance of putting a fire out, so without wasting a bunch of water. Actually come on this side and finish it off. And then fires are out. Okay, good. I don't think is this a crate? That's not a loot crate. It's just a decorative crate. Alright, so let me check the mission, how many I need to rescue here. 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and then I saw, where was the other one? I thought I saw another one. There's 4 right there. Okay, this one I did not see. I was gonna say, they're all wearing hoods? They are. Look at that. Bunch of hoodies. Oh, come on. My bunny hopping, I think, just caused them to all stop following me. I likes to bunny hop. I know. Alright. We'll do it this way. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah, you come on. Come on. Come on. I know. You're getting wet because you stopped following me a minute there ago. And this is punishment because that was annoying and I had to come get you again because you're not listening. And so you take that water. Right? There we go. Alright. Get in there, you, and then we'll start putting this one in. They have very brightly colored clothing here. That definitely helps me to find them. Madame, 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 madame. I think that might have been one monsieur. You monsieur? I think that's monsieur. Alright, let's get outside here. Alright, let's go to the, what do you call it? The military base, right here. Alright. Alright, so I really like the new system here, having a ground idle, having a flight idle, having it move itself up, having a green light come on. That's really, it's much better. And like I was saying before, I was getting in dangerous situations where I was actually accidentally reducing my thrust when I was in the air, and that could really turn into a crash pretty easily. So this system definitely works better. Once the green light's on, we should be good. Okay, you actually taking me to the right waypoint there, guy? Or is the wind... I think the wind is just so strong it doesn't want to send me the right heading. Yeah, it's the heading's fine. It's the wind is so strong it's trying to weather vane me into the wind. And I've talked about this before. Because of the aerodynamics of the craft, it always wants to point your nose. Altitude hold is acting absolutely the fool. This is all, I think, artifacts. The wind just being insanity is... The wind gets up, and I think it's just causing me problems here. So I'm going to manually fly. Again, I can fly better than the autopilots. They're usually fine. So there's a yellow light. Again, because I changed deck angle, you see how it goes on and off. That's normal. It's the fuel running around the sensor, and it's going to read like that. So that happens in real life. So kind of expected in game. I am one of the reasons it's doing that as well is I have 2 tanks, but I'm not measuring both tanks. I'm measuring 1 tank and doubling it. Because I'm measuring 1 tank and doubling it, say my rearward tank is my is where the sensor is reading, which I believe it is. When I lower my nose, the fuel runs from that rearward tank to the forward tank. Oh, what's going on there? That was a big wind knock there. That was kind of scary. So that's what's happening is the fuel's running. When I put my nose down, you can see there it is again. The fuel runs from my rearward tank to the front, and it makes the makes it look artificially low because it's just taking, you know, 1 tank divided and doubling it essentially. So it looks like it's out of fuel, but it's not. Okay. Let's open the door. Let's get these poor people out who went through a plane crash. Some plane crashes in the water would be cool. They've been doing a really good job, in my estimation, of updates, despite what a lot of people crying, you know, have been saying. There was, you know, I don't want to get into it too much, but there was somebody who was, you know, essentially they poo-pooed the uniform update and said nobody asked for it, and that's not true. And somebody came on there and they were like, yeah, my whole community's been asking for this for a long time. And so, you know, there are plenty of updates, and I've talked about this in my weekly update videos, that they're just not all that interesting to me, or they're not a type of gameplay that I do a lot of, so I'm not interested in. And sometimes I'm surprised. Like, I was never into trains, and once I started getting into trains, I really enjoyed the steam piston update. That was something that the train community had asked for, or, you know, was one of the primary audiences asking for it. And so you know, it wasn't something that was really on my radar, and then, you know, I've really enjoyed it, you know. And so sometimes you find, oh, that's pretty enjoyable. You find, you know, oh, I wish they did these 10 other things other than uniforms. Well, guess what? They didn't. And then 2, you know, maybe later in game you find some uniform item you really like, and you're like, oh yeah, actually I really like this. And guess what? Not every update needs to be for you, you know. Not every update's about you. Some updates are about different, you know, different groups of the community, and that's great. You know, the devs could just say, hey, we're going to always aim at the most popular audience. And, you know, they probably sell more copies of the game, theoretically, doing that. But, you know, they'd be neglecting a large part of their community. And instead they've chosen, no, we're gonna pick different communities, and we're gonna work with them. Trying to see if I can see Triton. So I'm trying to estimate here. So I went from here, up here, and then back, and then over. And Triton just had to steam down here. Let's go down here. Triton may or may not be down there. I doubt it's behind me. It's, you know, it's not terribly fast, going 20 knots, but the map's not big either. You know, and so let's head towards Spycakes. Triton will head to Spycakes and will stop anyway. Again, that's wind doing that. That's nothing to worry about. When the wind is up, you're you know, part of that is, you know, I'm using the stock gyro, and, you know, you tune the gyro to the, you know, kind of the most common situations. And as the wind gusts up, it's changing your control surfaces, and it's causing overreaction essentially, and that's when you're getting some overreactive forces. And so you could tune it by turning down the sensitivity on that particular control surface in the gyro. But you see, it's not a big deal, and it works well when the wind is, you know, under 80%, so it's not something I really care about. So Triton should be on this course. It could very well be behind us. I don't want to cheat and look. We'll do a little flight. We're pretty good on time here. It only takes us a minute to go over there, and so it's not something that I'm worried about having to go over there. I might be able to, if Triton was sitting there, I should be able to see its smoke. So I'm thinking it's behind us. Because there's Remora. Triton is supposed to stop right around this island there. So I think Triton is behind us. Yeah, I'd say that's a good bet that Triton is behind us. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead back here. You know, we'll go another 30 seconds. I should definitely be able to verify that Triton is not there. And then once I verify Triton is not there, we can just turn around. We have the fuel. We're not doing too bad. Once Triton gets hooked up at Sawyer South, I'm not North Sawyer South, Spycakes, what I'll do is I'll fill up Katie, or I might swap it out for the Cormorant. I think I might swap it out for the Cormorant. Okay, it's Triton is behind us, which is fine. Alright, so let's get us turned back towards Triton. And as you can see, we just got a red message. So we have to be careful here. We are down to 26 gallons here. And you see the red message went away because, again, my tanks, as I tip my deck angle, my tanks are going to do that. Reason why we're cockeyed here is the wind. The wind is blowing against our right side. Real life, you would kind of trim into that, so let me trim into it. So I'm going to put a bunch of roll trim into that. And this does not want me to live, so I'll just quickly push up over that. I have no altitude hold in. That's precarious, so let's put a 250 in there. So I have a little bit of roll trim in. As you can see, it's too much now, so I can take a little out. Tend not to want to do roll trim IRL. It will kind of take care of itself in real life, because you kind of have a pendulum. You're hanging off of the rotor. In an airplane, you weather vane into the wind, and then you kind of go diagonally. Alright, so we're going to look for Triton, hopefully get a quick landing in there, and then we're going to use Triton to bring us all the way back, and then, you know, I'm either going to fill up Katie, or probably what I'll do is put away in Remora. You know, Triton needs some more work. I need to add the pump and the fueling port so that I can refuel the craft that are on the helipad. That's something I need to add. So need to, you know, do some more work on Triton. Every time I stop, I'm going to probably do a little bit of work. I think that's the most efficient way to do it. I might also do what I did before this video and do some off-screen on my test world, and then when I get in game, the next port I'll just spawn on the new version. That's also helpful. You know, some of the stuff is boring. Me working on the mast, and I woke up this morning, didn't have enough sleep, and my mind just was not working. That should be a red message. As you see, we cannot extinguish a red message. So we have to start thinking here. We've only gone down 1 gallon, so we haven't burned a ton of fuel. So we've used 1/26 of the fuel to go there and back. It's not bad. We are heading into a headwind. Remember, our ground speed is negatively affected by this. So I think this might be ground speed right here. It would make sense. So if we're showing 136 knots, that's indicated airspeed. That is our speed dictated by the wind, which is how it's done in real life with pitot tubes. Your ground speed is the speed you're actually transitioning across the ground. So our airspeed is showing 136 knots. Our ground speed is showing 105 knots. And that's because we are taking our speed forward and we're fighting the wind, so we're having to subtract that wind factor. If we had a tailwind for ground speed, we'd have to add it. So right there, that looks like about a 31 knot wind is what we're going into. And so if we had a tailwind, we'd actually be doing about 161 knots across the ground. So that's why it only took us a minute to get there, and it's taken us a lot longer to get back, is our relative velocity across the ground is a lot slower. So we're down to 22 gallons. We're looking for Triton. So we should be seeing it. You know, the big smoke plumes are helpful. I do have plenty of cash. As one can see, I have 428,000, and that's with Triton, Katydid in the world, and the Remora all in the world. So I have plenty of money to buy some islands if I need to, so I can go to TT. I'm looking to buy more islands too. So the reason this goes off constantly and can't shut it up is for this reason, is I do not want to forget that I'm low on fuel. Absolutely not. And I should be seeing Triton, and it's making me a little nervous I'm not. Making me a little nervous that I'm not seeing Triton. This is the course that Triton was taking, so don't think it's all that slow. It was going 18, 19 knots. There it is. Is that it? No. What's that? There's Triton. Why is Triton facing the wrong direction? I do not know. So we're not going to worry about why Triton is facing the wrong direction right now. We are going to go in and land. And then the next video I will see what is up, why Triton is not going where Triton is supposed to be going. That is why Triton was not where it should have been. Something's up. So maybe I clicked the autopilot off. Down to 19 gallons. Again, you want a warning message to give you a constant reminder. Hey, hey, low fuel. Hey, man, low fuel. Hey, man, low fuel. Hey, don't forget, low fuel. That is there very much on purpose so that you do not run out of fuel and crash and kill yourself. You know, so it's as annoying as it is listening to that, that is why you get that. And then the caution message, you get one ding. Hey, start thinking about your fuel, man. You're getting low. That's all you get. And then, you know, you're going to get the, then you're going to get that warning message that goes off constantly, which is exactly what you want. So we're still good on fuel. We're getting a little low, but should be able to get this up. So let me check a heading here. Heading of 20. All right, put in a 20 heading. 020. Let's hit the space bar. And then Triton is going in a weird direction. I don't know why. I have to look at that. Could have been the waves turned it. I don't know why. The rudders, I'm looking at the rudders. I don't think the rudders are at full deflection, so I don't know why it's not trying to fix itself. Again, we do have to worry about our fuel here. We're getting low. I'm going to start adding in some prop. Prop is going to try to, yeah, see the waves are pretty gnarly right here. And Triton's heading right for a bridge. So this has turned into a little bit of a dangerous situation here. Low on fuel. I can't keep my heading properly because of the wind being strong. It keeps trying to weather vane me into the wind, which is fine. I need to be really careful here. Triton's going to keep rising on me here. It's going to get dangerous. I need to take out some prop. I'm going too much prop pushing me in. Okay, so there we go. I'm starting to slip backwards, which is what I want. Okay, I'm going to try to grab, if I can grab one lug, I can fix it. So I just need at least one grab. Fuel's very low. Fuel is very low at this point. Need to land. Need to land, need to land, need to land. I don't want to turn this into a recover Katydid mission. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Smoke, smoke, smoke. Oh, come on, come on. Whoa, 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 man. Whoa, man, whoa. That's the heave of the sea. That's the ship going up and down with the sea is, oh, crap. What did I hit? I don't even think I hit anything. Did I hit something? I think maybe the ship came up and the crane bashed my landing gear because it didn't hit the prop. Oh, there's a big one. So see, it's going to heave up. We need to come down with it. We need to watch the heave. Let's stay up high on a heave. And let's try to slam the sucker down. I need to get down. Need to get down. Come on, come on, come on. Fighting, 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 fighting. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. We're doing well now. We're doing well now. Come on. Don't over control. Don't over control. A lot of talking to myself. There we go. Okay. We got the one lug connected. I'm going to shut down. And I can fix this when I don't want to hit the prop. That's my main concern, is breaking the prop off at this point. We are connected. Imagine if I had to land this and put ropes on. That's why I went with this system, as I kind of foresaw that there was no way that that was going to work. We need the lugs. Alright, so next problem before, as I need to make sure I don't get washed off this deck. This back deck is pretty low. I have to be very careful of getting washed off here. I have no bilge system for the whole ship either. That needs to happen at some point. I want to know why my autopilot is not working properly. Yeah, why this is not working. Now it is. Okay. Alright. It was probably a me problem. I think it was a me problem. I think the way I put it in was funky. Alright, let's go here. Let's add waypoint 1. Turn on the system, we get full rudder deflection. Okay, I don't think I checked to make sure the system was doing, so I should always verify that whenever you do something automated in any sort of vehicle, you always want to verify that it's doing what you want. This is a good message for for the future. Oh, do not crash. Do not crash. Maybe hospital ship. Hospital ship. Okay. That was the hospital ship spawning in. It has been in the neighborhood. So this is a good message for automation. We had a lot of automation in the airlines. That was a $25 million airplane I was flying. We had, you know, really expensive automation, and a lot of times two qualified pilots were going, what is this thing doing? And we would shut it off and we would take over control. You are responsible for the machine you're operating. You are ultimately responsible for what it's doing. You have to guarantee that all these car companies that are putting out these autopilots, they're going to have so many legalese statements in there that you are ultimately responsible, and you are ultimately responsible. And so you need to verify what the autopilot does. And so we used to have this all the time in the airlines where autopilot would do something stupid and you'd be like, what are you doing? And we would shut it off and we'd take control, we'd get the plane in control, and then we'd put the autopilot back on. And that's why you have two qualified pilots in there, is to figure out what is this autopilot doing and to fix it. And it happens constantly in the automation systems in the tractor trailers now. You know, the auto brakes go off when there's a sign on the highway. You know, you have all these things that you have to be careful of. So, good little tip. Don't rely too much on your automation. You are ultimately responsible. It would have been my fault if we ran on the bridge. I couldn't go, oh, my autopilot screwed up. Well, I screwed up setting up the autopilot. And even if something with the autopilot went wrong, I'm ultimately responsible. I'm ultimately the one that's going to have to go try to rescue my boat that just crashed under the bridge. So, just a little tip on that. All right, so I think we're going to end the episode up there. I think that was a good one. Got some containers loaded here. Got Katydid safely on the pad, even though it wasn't the most graceful of landing. And you notice the angle? The angle that Katydid is facing is the same angle. The wind, it wants to weather vane into the wind. You know, ideally what you would do in real life and what aircraft carriers do is they turn into the wind, so you're always landing into the wind. But I couldn't do that just because the you know, Triton was on a weird course. So Triton is on the correct course now. I can already see it going the right way. So next video I will catch up with you. We will go ahead. I'll probably come back when I get really close to Spycakes. No point in just watching me kind of motoring across. But we have two nice containers on there. It'll make us a little bit of money. We have the DID on board. Probably going to swap the DID out for the Cormorant, and I'll make some more adjustments to Triton after it's unloaded and then load it in fresh. But that was a fun mission, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.